Hey guys, it's Coach Brian from Cause Events and welcome to Coach's Corner. Now today, what we're going to talk about is cycling shoes. Now, I've had a lot of questions in the past for triathlons and other cycling events about, do I need cycling shoes? And these are the cycling shoes I happen to have right now. Can I wear tennis shoes? And these are amongst the different types of sneakers I have that I have actually ridden in all of them. Now, one of the things that's interesting is I was on a bike race this past weekend and I forgot my cycling shoes. Well, not a big deal because I've got combination pedals. They're on this bike. They're flat on one side, they're cleated on the next, and so I could easily do the ride in that. But the big caveat, the question is, how well am I doing? Now, we all know that when you're cycling with clip shoes, you can push down, you can pull up, you can push forward, you can pull back, you can actually thrust in every direction conceivable on your pedal. And that really helps because you're incorporating lots of muscle groups. You're incorporating your quads, your calves, your hamstrings, your glutes. You're using a lot of other muscles, so you're not exhausting one muscle. I had 1,500 feet of climbing on essentially two significant climbs. And it was a timed race. It wasn't so much so a race as it was a timed bike ride. However, you really want to do good. You want to do well on these races. And I thought, well, no problem. I happen to be wearing this pair of Saucony, and not a big problem. I run in these. I actually bike lead in these a lot because when you bike lead, you are leading the lead runner through a course, and then you go back and you catch up with the last person, usually an older person or somebody not in as great a shape, and they're walking. And so you get off your bike and walk with them and talk with them, enjoy the company you've got. And that's really good. But if you have any sort of climbing to do, the biggest problem with these are all these shoes are flexible. And that's good for a running shoe. It's good for a walking shoe. And even my Vibram 5 Fingers, which is really super flexible. And I've actually ridden it once in these, and it about just destroyed my feet with exhaustion. I had cramps in my arches. It was terrible. The reason cycling shoes are great is you can clip in and you can stroke all the way around, but they're not very flexible. None of them are. This is actually a triathlon shoe. It's got a carbon fiber base. This is a mountain biking shoe. It's got a little bit of flexibility, but not too much. And just another basic road shoe. This is basically a hybrid where it's part mountain bike, part road. Really like it. When I'm racing, I use mountain bike cleats because I can get into a full-blown sprint. Whereas if you're in a race with something like this, if you're going to wear your shoes out of transition, you're going to be running on the cleat, which I hate. So I tend to use these. Going up 1,500 feet in climbing, and you're trying to do it fast, puts a definite wear on your quads. So if you're in a triathlon or on a bike ride, if you're on flat ground, if you're in a flat triathlon, let's say a sprint, even an Olympic distance, because the ride is going to only be 25 miles long at the most, which is 40 kilometers. If it's flat, you don't really have to worry about the cycling. If you've got a lot of climbing, anything more than a couple hundred feet, you're going to want to have some cycling shoes that you can flip in with. You're going to wear yourself out if you have a flexible sneaker with a lot of climbing. And so I recommend you get a cycling shoe, learn how to clip in, clip out efficiently, effectively, and practice with it in a park where when you go to unclip it, when you stop, you forget to unclip, you're going to fall over, you're going to fall on the grass. Practice in a park or something. Get used to doing that. Try to avoid falling on the road. Remember, beginning, put both feet out when you're coming to a stop and put both feet down. Eventually, you'll probably figure out which is your more dominant foot, and you'll unclip that one and put it down. But also be aware, you unclip, you put one foot down, you may push a little bit, and you go the other way, and you're going to fall, and you're going to look like an idiot. And I've done it several times, and hopefully you can avoid that pitfall. However, getting back to the main topic, think about the shoes you're wearing. If you're climbing, you're going to want a cycling shoe, at least kind of a stiff shoe, but you're going to want to be able to use that upstroke, the forward stroke, the backstroke, as well as the downstroke in your favor. Otherwise, you're going to exhaust your quads on the climb, and you're going to be spent when you get to the run. Never wear your Vibrams. You may love minimalist, never wear your Vibrams on a bike, even for a short flat ride. You can wear just a walking shoe, and if you can run in it, if you're in a triathlon. These are both Saucony. One's a trail runner, one's a road runner. They're so flexible. This is more flexible than the trail shoe, and there's a reason for that. But the main thing is, stiff shoes going to help you navigate uphills a lot better than a running shoe. It's going to save you some time in transition if you don't have to change your shoes, but if you're going to be slower on the run because you exhausted your legs, get a running shoe or get a cycling shoe. It's going to be in your best interest to cycle with the proper gear. Now you can find them at a good price on several of the online places. Some start with an E, some start with an A. You know all the right places to go. You can also go to a lot of the manufacturers' websites, and they have outlets, and you can find discounts at their outlets oftentimes on usually last year's model. Okay, with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. All right, with that, I'm going to let you go. We'll see you soon.